recuperation there. If some of the others are running.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the second half commentary where Gosport are taking on Andover New Street. Thanks to a brilliant first half performance from Gosport, we are leading 4-0. A brace coming from Dan Wooden, who has played his 500th game here today, and a second brace, for Alfie Stanley, who has also netted 2 goals today. I will run you through the lineups as we are just about to kick off here at the AI Stadium for the second half. So for our visitors, it's 13 Matthew Fredericks in goal, 2 Ikaba, 3 Kinron Koshi, 4 Jake Carswell, 5 Matthew Scott. I'm pretty sure he's just come off. He's come on for 15 Hassel. 6 Cameron Thatcher, 7 Shane Locke, who's their skipper, 8 Callum Sweeney, 9 Josh Moore, 10 Lewis Williams, and 11 Ryan Griffiths. And your Gosport lineup today sees Max Evans starting goal, 2 Harry Kavanagh, 3 Rory Williams, 4 Finley Walsh-Smith, 6 Charlie Vasmer, 7 Bradley Tarbuck, 8 Asher Yearwood, 9 Dan Wooden, who has made his 500th appearance today. He's already got a brace. 11 Alfie Stanley, 19 Dutchy Hollins, and 14 Jake Cope, who has come off thanks to an injury, and instead he has been replaced by Cameron Murray. But Gosport were already on the attack. It was Alfie Stanley who just poked the ball forward there to Bradley Tarbuck. Tarbuck tried to smash him on forward, trying to find the run of Asher Yearwood there. Just couldn't connect the ones there, just because Tarbuck's ball just a little bit too heavy there, too powerful. As a result, Andover New Street, they do have a throw-in just inside their own half. City Cabba currently on the ball. The former Gosport man, so I'm sure many Gosport listeners will recognise the name, but he's currently playing right back for them today. I mean, he's done a good chance in right back position today. Well defended Asher Yearwood, but like I said, Gosport's attack's just been too dominant today. 4 goals scored within the first 35 minutes, so absolutely mental scenes. Brilliant to see Dan Wooden get his 2 goals, and I'm sure he'll be looking for his hat-trick today. And I would imagine Alfie Stanley, he may be looking for a hat-trick. But if we're going to go by the first half, we could very well see an 8-goal thriller. I'm not sure the last time we saw one of those. I do remember we beat Laverstock and Ford 7-2. So maybe it's going to be similar to that game in the second half. But Gosport, they're back on the attack with Dan Wooden. He nodded a header down, trying to find the run of Cameron Murray there. But good goalkeeping. See Frederick, he just comes out of his goal. I mean, he won the ball, he passed it forward, but on the left-hand channel, Cushy, he just gave it away. Cameron Murray, he's currently battling Sweeney with the ball. Sweeney coming out victorious as he tries to lay one forward into Williams. Williams, he comes down, he runs into trouble into Finley Walsh-Smith, who passes forward. He finds Alfie Stanley, but Alfie Stanley, it just hits his back heel, and it sees it return to Hassel. The new substitute played 6 times this season, so it'll be interesting to see what he can do defensively-wise. But 10 Williams, he's just coming down this right channel as he tries to lay a through ball into Izzy Cabba. Izzy Cabba, he's currently battling Dutchy Hollins on the ball, and he does well enough to pass it back into number 10, Williams. Williams, he tries to play across, but instead finds the head of Charlie Vasmer. He nods one forward into Asher Yearwood, and currently Alfie Stanley, he's battling Carswell with the ball. And Carswell, he does come out victorious. And Andover, they do look like they are trying to get that goal, maybe trying to get back into this clash. It will be hard for the visitors, so to get back into it. 4 goals down. We will try and get you some of the results and scores from the FA Cup, but we are currently finding it hard to get some of these scores. Obviously, the Southern League, they don't publish it. The site we normally use, Flash Score, there's nothing on there, but we will try and keep you up to date with at least the Southern League ones. Yeah. Yeah, mental. Well, like I said, when I did check, I mean, literally all the games were goalless. I'm not sure if that was just because they haven't been updated. But either way, we'll try and find out for you at full time. Gosport, we're still working another attack. Dan Wooden, he's on the ball. Currently, he's fighting with Thatcher for the ball. And it sees Dutchy Hollins. It was just pinballing around with heads there. Hollins tried poking one forward, just smashing one forward. But instead, it found Carswell, who did smack one forwards just by the Gosport dugout. So they were fighting for the ball. And it has gone out of play where Rory Williams, he's taking the throw in. And Rory Williams, he's just looking up. I would imagine he will try and get it to Asher Yearwood, who's making the most movement, but he's just steadily halted there. Asked Carswell, he was man marking him. Instead, thrown to Alfie Stanley. There are appeals for handball from Izzy Cabba, but the referee says play on. And Handwell, he just boots the ball forward, and Charlie Vasmer, he's going to let the ball run out of play. I mean, Jeremy, we saw the first half, 4 goals. I mean, Andover New Street, they have started the second half pretty well, trying to look for that goal. But I mean, even if they do get a goal straight away in the second half, it's going to be hard for them to claw back into this game.
It's a long way back. It is a long way back. You've got to be honest. But I think, to be fair, it gives them the opportunity just to relax and try and express themselves a bit more now. And that's where Gosport need to be a little careful, I think, because I think they could end up in that situation, causing them a lot more issues than they ever did in the first half. Because it's a sort of a psychological thing. Do Gosport now switch off, knowing that they've got a 4-goal lead, or do they carry on pushing for further goals? It's an age-old dilemma in this situation.
Well, I suppose that's a big thing when you're leading by that much. I mean, you do just become careless, like that pass that Vasma did. He gave it away to number 11 Griffiths, and Griffiths, he was just outside of the D there. Ambitious, he took a shot, a low-driven one. It was steered just far of the post. Max Evans, it did look like he was beaten there, but like we were just alluding to, it was careless there.
A little, but like I said, this is the situation you're faced with when you're in such a comfortable position. Do you then switch off? No, hopefully not. Or do you just carry on pushing on as you've done for the first 45 minutes? We shall see.
Yeah, well, hopefully we do continue pushing on. I wouldn't mind seeing some more goals. As Charlie Vasma, he pushes Griffiths to the floor. The referee, he does blow up. Andover New Street, they are given a free kick. 5 minutes gone in the second half. It is Gosport 4, Andover New Street 0. Like I said, they have got a free kick here, so it might give them a chance just to claw back a goal. I've seen some of the Gosport players just warming up, one of them being Paul Agbesi, so maybe that's a defensive substitute that we will see. And Alfie Stanley, he was just doing his defensive duties there, which saw Williams, he was just breaking through on goal a little bit there, coming down this right-hand channel. I mean, he just took one for the team there, Alfie Stanley, and didn't even receive a yellow, so it worked out pretty well. But the free kick, deadly position.
Just leaves you with a precarious set piece to defend, doesn't it? And that's the only trouble from that. But Gosport just need to concentrate. That's all they have to do. I know that it's a big ask, but they need to concentrate now.
But they've been winning all the aerial duels so far within this game. Gosport, we will be hoping to do that again. It looks like it's going to be pretty hard if they are going to go for a shot from this angle. I mean, Bradley Tarbuck, he's the only man standing in the wall at the moment. Every other Gosport player looks to be man marking at least one Andover player. Max Evans, he's ready. And this is where Gosport, we really do not want to be chucking away a clean sheet here. There's a boy's brilliant mental. But it's going to be Sweeney. He delivers a low set piece. It does find Thatcher, but Thatcher just can't get his feet sorted just in time. I don't even think he was expecting that there.
No, I don't think he was. And it was an interesting set piece. They were trying to catch Gosport cold because everybody expected him to sort of deliver a cross. But no, he played it lost across the floor. And you're right, he couldn't get his feet sorted out, could he?
No.
So,
just
never mind.
Yeah, unfortunate for them. Well, it gives Gosport anyway a chance to get an attack. I mean, Kavanagh, it just looks like I wouldn't say we've moved down gear. That's probably the best way to say. Just taking it a little bit more easy now. And it's probably just to try and escape injuries. Because if you get an injury in this game, if you look at it, a lot of our first team players, and you just don't want to be sustaining any injuries with the league coming up.
You've already got one with Cope, haven't you?
Exactly.
So I'll have to see if Jake's going to be okay for next week against Tiverton. Notwithstanding a very unlikely replay, you've now got a week between matches to get players into the treatment room if you need to, and get them back out. But we have got a very strong bench, Gosport, and they've got some big hitters on that bench, and we've had one come on already in Cam Murray. So we'll see, won't we?
Definitely. Well, Andover New Street, it was left back Cushy on the ball. As he tried to play across, it looked like it was just hit towards Herbert, the substitute there. But Max Evans, he did well coming out and collecting the ball. And I have just spotted, I'm pretty sure that's Andover's bus over there. And it's pretty fitting with the team. Turquoisey green fits nicely with their kit as well.
I actually like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Don't normally see that.
Peppermint.
Definitely, lovely colour. I mean, we were trying to decide last week, weren't we, when they were playing Basingstoke, what colour that kit was. I mean, a nice colour.
Peppermint? No, it wasn't that one.
Nah. More, I don't know, turquoisey, bluey, green. I mean, you get a variety of kits now on this level.
You do.
Get some lovely, some not so great.
The higher up you go, the more interesting it gets.
I think that's a fair statement, definitely. No, I don't think I have for a while any beige kits. Yeah, that's a good spot. Yeah.
Yes, they are, and they were on Monday as well, I believe.
I wonder why that is. But Bradley Tarbuck, he's down this left-hand channel. He pokes the ball into Yearwood. Yearwood, he lays one into Alfie Stanley. Stanley, left of the penalty box. He tries to play a ball back into Dutchy Hollins, but instead finds the feet of Izzy Cabot, and just unlucky there from Alfie Stanley. And Andover, they're looking to break. Sweeney on the halfway line. He just tries to switch it out wide into Griffiths, and Griffiths can't keep it under control, which we'll see it go out for... throw in on the far side. Harry Kavanagh, he's happy to take it as he chucks one back. It's also good to see Harry Kavanagh return. Was out for a long time. I want to say a few months at least, Harry Kavanagh. So that's much welcome return. I mean, he's done pretty well today, and he's chucked it into, well, Bradley Tarbuck. He's come down this left-hand channel. He lays one into Ashley Yearwood, left of that 6-yard penalty box. He's trying to cut in. Izzy Cabba's not allowing him to do that. He does cut in, trying to go for the pass, but it's intercepted, but it rebounds straight to the attacker. He tries to lay one into Kavanagh, and he does do that. He is successful. Kavanagh chips one back into Yearwood. It's a brilliant first touch, but once again, it's well tracked back from Carswell. It's Yearwood. He lays one back into Hollins. Hollins, he's going to put it across. He's going to find a header, Stanley, and Stanley just getting under it, just putting too much power on it. Hard to take there for Stanley, Jeremy.
Yeah, and it was the difficulty was putting too much any sort of power into that header, but it kind of looped, and in the end, it was an easy take for the goalkeeper. But yeah, Gosport just starting to play again, aren't they? Because we've gone 10 minutes into the second half, still 4-0, and they're just starting to hit their stride again now, Borough. So, and nearly taking the manager's.
Yeah, I was going to say, poor Pat. Well, I'll run you through some of the Premier League scores while there's a little bit of a stoppage. Brentford, they're leading Southampton 1-0. So I'm sure many of the Pompey fans listening will be happy with that one. And Everton, they've had a poor start to the season, but they are leading 2 goals against Bournemouth. Bournemouth, they've had a pretty good start to the season. So that could be considered a little bit of a shock result if that stays the way it is. Ipswich, they're drawing 1-1 against Fulham. Nottingham Forest, it's 1-1 against Wolves there. And West Ham, they will be to kick off. Arsenal, they drew to Brighton 1-1. So Man City, they will be looking to pounce on that. And I mean, that already puts Arsenal in a little bit of a dangerous position. Yeah, it sounds funny saying that this early, but sometimes that is just the way it is with Manchester City.
Look at your mum on the computer there. And
Colin's just getting in as well. Yeah. Well, currently, yeah. Well, sometimes that's just all the fun. Could you see us doing another cut run this year? I mean, it would be nice.
Hopefully, I mean, this looks to be the first hurdle negotiated, and then we'll see what the draw throws up on Monday lunchtime and who's next.
Yeah, hopefully another home draw, bearing in mind.
Yeah, that's always a good one. But if you're going to go away, you want it to be, ideally, you want it to be a team perhaps you don't play on a regular basis.
Yeah. Well, I remember last season, AFC Stoneham, they were drawn away to Yeovil Town. And I mean, for a non-league side like Stoneham, you couldn't have asked for a better draw there.
No, what a brilliant draw that was for them. And they went there and just had a really good day out, didn't they? They lost 5-1, I think, if my memory serves.
But, it was, yeah.
But they had a fantastic day out up there. And yeah, I think Stoneham actually went through. They're at this stage now because they beat Millbrook in the replay from the last round. So interesting to see if they can come through today.
Well, I know a lot of the teams in our league, a lot of them are playing with this kind of level of opposition, the Wessex League sides. I think it's Plymouth Parkway, they're up against Baffin, so that could be an interesting one.
I'd love to see Baffin get through.
I would.
Love it.
Be nice if we got drawn away to them, man. Andover, they were just on the attack there. It was Thatcher trying to get on the end of a loose cross there from Ashley Yearwood. He was just trying to play it back into keeper Max Evans. Fasmed just nearly losing it there to Thatcher, like I said. Unlucky there.
Yeah, I think I'd love to see Baffins beat Parkway. That would be a huge upset, especially after such a long journey.
Well, Yearwood, he's coming forward, and he might go for a shot. It takes a ricochet, just taking all the power out of the shot there, which sees it easily collected from Fredericks. We will try and find out some of the scores for you in the FA Cup games, but we're just currently finding issues. We'll let you updated with all the Premier League scores, so we'll do that again in 5 minutes, as currently none of the scores have changed. Still Gosport 4, Andover Street 0. Gosport, it was a brilliant first half. This second half, I wouldn't say it's had the same level of intensity. Maybe just that's the words from Pat and Joe, take it down. Just don't worry too much about it in the second half, because we have got the lead. I mean, Andover, I'd say they probably had the better spurs of possession in this second half, Jeremy.
Yes, they have. And it's, like I said, when you get a team in such a commanding position after 45 minutes, what happens in the second half? And often it's the team who are up against it that will come out and play the better second half of football. But Gosport now on the attack again.
Well, it was Finley Walshmith just striding forward there as he laid one back into Harry Kavanagh. Harry Kavanagh, he passes back into Danny Hollins. Hollins, he looks up. He passes it into Bradley Tarbuck in acres of space. Fans are calling for him to shoot, but instead he passes it into Kavanagh. Kavanagh with a lovely flip back with the back heel. He was trying to play through Kavanagh through on goal. And there will be a Gosport substitute, which we'll see Rory Williams, our skipper. He's going to be coming off. And in return, Paul Agbesi, he's going to be coming on. And I have just seen Dan Woodin, he's been given the captain's armband, so he's going to be happy with that one. Still looking for his hat trick there.
Gosport Borough substitution coming on number 15, Paul Basie, replacing number 3, Rory Williams.
And Jeremy, I suppose that's just a substitution where you're just trying to save Rory for future games.
Yep, that's exactly how I describe it. And Gosport will need to be thinking about keeping players fresh now for Tiverton next weekend. And so I think, and Rory probably could do with having a bit of a break because he plays with such intensity. That's just the way he plays. He's all action and he puts his body through the ringer a little bit. So I think he's done his job.
Definitely.
Give Paul a chance and keep Rory as fresh as you can for the challenge at Tiverton next weekend. Now,
I'm just tweeting, yeah.
Okay. Well, now, so James has just tweeted the substitution on our social media channels, so you've got me for a few seconds. Now, Gosport just starting the game with a throw from the right-hand side. That was Kavanagh. Now, Gosport just losing possession there. Now, Andover New Street, what can they do? Not a lot is the answer. As Kavanagh robs them of possession, and Gosport now going long with a launched effort from Evans right up the middle of the pitch, and Andover still can't get their foot on the ball quite. Tarbuck, Yearwood, Murray just linking up all in a bit of a triangle in the centre circle or just outside of it. Here's the first touch for the substitute, Agbasi. And Kavanagh just trying to set Murray away down the right-hand side. Can he? Or are Andover New Street going to clear up? Yes, they do. James, you're back.
Yeah, I am back. Well, I haven't had too many social media tweets to do in the second half. I mean, to be fair, I'm kind of hoping to do some more social media tweets in order to see some more goals in the second half. But currently, it's still Gosport 4, Andover New Street 0 for any listeners coming in. Oh, no, thank you. Jeremy's just offered me a meet in this press box. Finley Walshmith, he's on the ball. He's been absolutely brilliant today as he passes it into Paul Agbesi on this far side. And I have been impressed with the young fullback today, Finley Walshmith.
He never disappoints, Finn. He's a youngster, but he plays with the maturity of a player that's 10 years older. And I'll never forget the standout game he had was the playoff semi-final at Salisbury last season. He's always shown great promise. And since he's had a bit of a run in the side, he hasn't put much of a foot wrong.
No, I would have to agree with you on that one. But Cameron Murray, he's just won the ball back. He passes it into Cameron Murray and he passes into Dutchy Hollins, and it's back into Paul Agbesi, who looks like he's occupying a right back position as opposed to the normal centre back role. And it's gone into Cameron Murray in the centre of the park as he lays one back into Finley Walshmith, the man we were just talking about. And now Bradley Tarbuck, he's in space in this left mid role and he passes it into Kavanagh. Kavanagh just lays one into Stanley. Stanley, he plays a through ball into Tarbuck. Tarbuck going for the shot. Oh, on the outside of the boot. He hits the post, and that could have been a brilliant goal there, just on the outside of the boot. It falls nicely, though, for Ashley Yearwood. And Gosport, we're back on the attack once again. Cameron Murray, he might be going for a shot. All the Gosport fans, after any yellow body gets on the ball, they're immediately calling for shots. Kavanagh, he lays the ball in, just trying to find Dan Woodin. Dan Woodin just didn't see it coming there. It did take a nick off of Cushy as it did go out. And Gosport, they have been given a corner ball. It's just funny hearing all the Gosport fans go and shoot all the time.
Yeah,
just shows how much optimism we've got at the moment in this game.
Yeah, and not just that, but players have got a bit more room, I've noticed. Gosport have the space to line up a shot if they chose to. But let's see what the corner brings here.
Well, it's going to be Harry Kavanagh taking this one as he raises his arm in the air. Just finding the head of Vazman, it's cleared off the line. Just looked like Paul Agbesi was going to smack it home. Instead, it falls all the way back into Bradley Tarbuck, 30 yards out from goal. And he places a pass, which is intercepted by Captain Locke, and he smashes one out. And in the end, it does well to find Herbert, the substitute, but he just runs that out of play on the far side. And it will be a throw-in near the Harry Mitson stand. And Harry Kavanagh, he's just coming over to collect the throw-in. Unlucky for Gosport not to make it 5 there, Jeremy.
Yeah, that was good defending from the visitors. 5-0-4.
5-0-4.
5-0-4.
Well, we're just trying to find their attendance here, using a little bit of sign language here, so using some new skills. Gosport there on the attack. Alfie Stanley, he's leading the line. Good vision, saw him pass out into Harry Kavanagh, but just the run of Harry Kavanagh, just the pace, couldn't see him keep it in. And there will be a throw-in for Andover New Street.
Ask Craig if it's okay to announce that. Yeah. Just check it. It's 5-0-4.
I mean, Gosport, they're back on the attack. It's Ashley Yearwood. He was trying to flick one over Hassel. And Jeremy, we have just found out that, well, we think that's their attendance, 504. And if that is their attendance, that's not a bad attendance for an FA Cup game.
Not for an FA Cup game, because don't forget the rules of the FA Cup prohibit season ticket holders from getting in for free, so everyone pays.
Definitely.
Yeah, happy for he's happy for that. Right, no problem. Thank you.
Well, that's brilliant news.
Ladies and gentlemen, the official attendance at the AEI Stadium this afternoon is 504. Thank you very much for your support.
Well, like we were just saying there, that's a pretty good attendance, at least for an FA Cup game. And I mean, Andover, I mean, in the nicest way, they're not going to bring the massive portions of fans. I mean, they are in Southampton. That's what I mean.
Over there.
But
behind that goal away to our right, James. Just have a look over there. Look.
But yeah, you can see a lot of green bodies. Yeah. But that's what I mean. Like, they have done well. We've done well today. And I think that is a pretty sound attendance overall.
I think so for this stage of the FA Cup. And not forgetting Pompey at home to Sunderland this
afternoon.
afternoon.
Oh, now that's a big one, definitely. 3-0 down.
But to be fair, though, it does detract from Gosport's attendance when the two play
on
the same day. It really does.
Yeah, I bet they wish they would have been here.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, a lot of events going on. Well, Harry Kavanagh, he was just in the left-hand pocket as he flicks across forward, exchanging it into Bradley Tarbert, and now he's just arriving near Pat and Joey's dugouts. They're just flicking it out into either flanks as it's passed back into Finley Walsh-Smith. He's trying to stride forward as he passes forward into Ashley Yearwood. Ashley Yearwood, he looks up, he passes it into Dan Woodin, he passes immediately back to Yearwood. Yearwood, he did try and thread a ball into Alfie Stanley there, but it was won back by Andover. Now it's Thatcher, he's coming forward. He sets Lock from up against Agbessi. He's still trying to get past Agbessi. I currently got Big Pillar blocking my view. And there has been a ball, and it has worked its way on to number 14, Herbert. Herbert did just do enough to get across his shore, but straight down the throat of Max Evans there. And there will be Andover's third substitution of the day. Obviously, he allowed 5. They have got 7 on the bench. So it will be interesting trying to work out who's going to be coming on. I think he is going to flash it towards the press box.
Yeah, I did have a word with him when I went downstairs. I just said, give us a good look.
I still can't work it out. But anyway, Gosport, we're on the ball. It's Bradley Tarbach. He chips the ball forward. It is nodded down by Dan Woodin, who nods it down into Ashley Yearwood. Ashley Yearwood gets on the end of the attack, but just offside flag goes up there, which sees Ashley Yearwood. He's offside. Offside didn't do us a great deal of favour last time when we were up against Sholin. Just Alfie Stanley narrowly offside in the final few minutes of that clash. Could have given us the 3 points there. But yeah, that was a good game. And Andover, they've just got a free kick as a result because of that offside. As he smacks the ball forward, finding the head of Finley Walsh-Smith, who nods one down. It's going to be gobbled up by Herbert, who's currently coming down this right-hand channel, and a mistimed Ashley Yearwood challenge means he's still on the ball. He's doing a lot of step-overs, but Finley Walsh-Smith just standing his ground there. He wasn't falling for any of the trickery there, and he wins the ball back. And now he's coming forward as he passes it into Dutchy Hollins. Hollins swipes one forward, and Dan Woodin, he just left it there for Alfie Stanley. I don't think Stanley recognised the ball there, and it sees the ball return back into Andover New Street as the green and black team, they're coming forward. It's Izzy Cabra on the ball, the former Gosport man. He places a pass, trying to find Herbert, but Bradley Tarbach just does enough, getting in front of the defender there and winning the ball back for Gosport. As Dutchy Hollins, he places it to Ashley Yearwood near the Gosport dugouts. Ashley Yearwood, he's trying to turn. He's trying to escape the pressure currently given by Griffiths. And does well enough just to pass it back into Finley Walsh-Smith. Gosport playing out from the back. Phasma, he's forced into making a misplaced pass into number 4, Castwell. And Gosport immediately win it back. And even after all these counter-attacks, we just look pretty solid in defensive work.
Yeah, old habits creeping back in there. I think, James, that was just a little too sloppy for my liking.
Well, they have won it back, but like I said, Finley Walsh-Smith, he's really standing his man today. I mean, he's got to be up there for one of the man of the match contenders. But I don't know. Yeah, either him, Dan Woodin, or Stanley have got to be it for me today.
Yeah, I think Stanley looks electric. Well, Dan, obviously, it's his big day.
But Stanley's been set through on goal. Can he get his hat-trick? He's through on goal. Alfie Stanley, he just slots one narrowly wide. We were just saying how good he's been. It was a lovely run from the former Pompey man, and all he had to do was slot it home, and it was just a whisker wide at the left post. Keeper Fredericks, he was beaten, and just unlucky there from Gosport. But we will see a substitute for Andover New Street. It's going to be 17 coming on, and it's going to be 11 coming off, Griffiths.
Ladies and gentlemen, Andover to New Street substitution coming on number 17, Leighton Tulk, replacing number 11, Brian Brooks.
And that is Andover's third substitution of the game. It will be interesting to see what he's doing as he's going over to that left-hand flank. Griffiths, he's not played bad today. I thought he's had some good moments, but like I said, just hard to construct any attacks for this away side today.
Yeah, no, to be fair, when you're 4-0 down, you've still got full 45 minutes to play. That's tough psychologically, but it goes one of two ways, as we discussed earlier. You either cave in and you concede another 4 or 5, or you try and play some football, and that's what they're doing. So Gosport have got the measure of it, I think, but Andover, I actually think, have played a lot better this half.
I would say so.
Yeah.
That's a lot stronger, and it's been a much tighter affair in the second half. As Cameron Murray, he loses the ball into the new substitute, and they're coming forward, Andover. The ball has been fed into the number 10, and he has just lost the ball. Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah, that was full face contact. He got that plum in the mush.
I think that's just one of those painful ones, isn't it?
Yeah,
looked like it right
hurt. Should be okay, but yeah, I felt that from here.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, it looks as though Gosport.
Well, Gosport, we will be making a sub.
Well, let's see who it's Jones.
Will be interesting to see who's coming off here.
And he hasn't. I don't think he's had too many minutes since he's come.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure I haven't seen him play Ethan Jones yet, at least in the league campaign anyway. And Mike Sevens, he's also down, so that could be worrying for Gosport. Although I have seen Callum Smart out of the ground today, so we do have that backup goalkeeper option.
No, you don't,
is he not on the bench today?
He's not on the bench, so no, you won't. I think he'll be okay. Liv's gone out to see him. But Gosport are making a change, and we're about to find out who it is.
I'm just trying to work out who it could be.
I think we'll find Smart's gone in there. He's been warming up. He's gone in there. I think he's just getting ready to come on, and I think it will be him. Let's see.
Well, the third official, he has just signalled, and it will be Asher Yearwood coming on. So it's going to be number 5, Joe Morrison, coming on.
No, doing a double. Aren't we doing a double, actually?
No, I think it's just one.
No, and the second substitute is going to see number 2. So that is going to be Kavanagh coming off and Ethan Jones coming on. Haven't seen too much minutes from Ethan Jones, as we alluded to. So it'll be interesting to see what he can do. Gives the youngster a chance to play.
Right, so we've got 2, 8 of 5 and 16 on. Right. Ladies and gentlemen, Gosport double substitution. Coming on, number 5, Joe Morrison. Number 16, Ethan Jones. Replacing number 2, Harry Kavanagh. And number 8, Asher Yearwood.
Good game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gosport got one more change that they can make. So they've made 4. Yeah. So James is tweeting that substitution. So back from my tannery duties, and I'll take you through. So both sides have made a few changes. Gosport 4 and Andover have made 3. So I think in this sort of situation, they're keen to get players off who are tired. Maybe you need to have a bit of a break, or you want to get players on that haven't had many minutes. As in the case of this man on the ball, or picking up the ball now, Ethan Jones, who's on work experience loan from Brighton and Hove Albion, and this is the first time I believe he's come on the pitch for Gosport. So we'll see what he can offer. He's got about 15 minutes to make a little bit of an impression there,
definitely.
James. Yeah,
it'll be interesting to see what he can do today. Like you said, he's a youngster. Just gives these sorts of players a chance to prove themselves for Pat and Joe.
Yeah, and I think it's a good opportunity to sort of lay a little marker down, because we've got about a quarter of an hour left. And we know the game as a contest is done. So what that does do is it just gives you a sort of a ground set for players to come on and just try and make an impression.
Definitely. Well, hopefully we'll see a little bit of Ethan Jones and then Morrison as well. I suppose that's just like you said, fresh legs and also a defensive change, just carving out that defence and looking for that clean sheet. As Pat and Joe, they've alluded to it fair times in interviews where it just does the boys a lot for mental. But Dan Wooden, he's just laid a lovely through ball into the feet of Alfie Stanley. Stanley just loses it to Quashie in the left-hand channel, and Quashie, he just takes it towards the left corner flag, playing one back into Fredericks' goal as he lobs one forward, finding the head of Joe Morrison, and that's his first touch of the game. But the header sees it return back into Thatcher. Thatcher, he's marching up the field as he passes into Sweeney. Sweeney, he tries to loop one forward, but instead the looped ball finds Finley Walshmith. Finley Walshmith, he passes forward into Alfie Stanley. Stanley back into Dutchy Hollins. And now it's gone all the way back into Joe Morrison. And honestly, I'm a little bit surprised we haven't seen any goals in this second half, considering the calibre of the first half of what we saw.
I have to say, and I hate to disagree, but I'm not, because I've got a few examples down the years where games can be all decided in the first half, and then you see nothing in the second. Or in the case of one FA Cup tie that I remember from 2001, I'm going back a bit here.
Yeah.
6 goals in the first half, Littlehampton 3, Gosport 3, nothing in the second. Back here for the replay, Gosport won the replay 3-0. 6 goals in the first 45 minutes and none in the second.
Well, I think this could turn out to be a similar affair. There's 13 minutes left to play in this clash. It is still Gosport 4, Andover New Street 0. And it does look like Gosport, they have got their ticket into the next round of the FA Cup. And that'll be interesting to see who we can get drawn to. Hopefully one of the bigger teams. Oh, no, I've got to admit, I would rather have a small team and just going through.
But
Max
then
said
you say that, but I think just watching where this goes. But we've got to remember in the second qualifying round is that the National South teams come into
yeah,
it.
that's where it gets a pain, isn't it?
So you could land a bigger fish. You could get a Weymouth or a Worthing or a Salisbury, because they'll come in at that point. Or you'll have a survivor from this round, and it could be, we don't know who's progressed and who isn't doing much this afternoon, because it's a bit hard to find scores. But
Yeah.
it's going to be an open draw, and I can't wait for 1 o'clock on Monday to find out who it is.
Well, some of your teams you just mentioned there, they could be tasty. Weymouth, Mark Mosley, the ex-manager, they've got Corey
yes.
Jordan.
And they haven't won a game yet this
No,
season,
they
I don't
haven't.
think.
They're
So,
rock bottom of the National League South.
Yeah. So, and even if you reverse it and you go to a National South ground, you go to a Weymouth or a Salisbury or a Worthing, that's a massive game for you
Definitely.
to sort of take on.
Well, Gosport, we're looking for our fifth. It is still Gosport 4, Andover New Street 0. We're currently passing out from the back, which sees Charlie Vasmer. He's on the ball on the halfway line. So he scoops the ball forward, trying to find the runner Cameron Murray, but instead finds Koshi, who just sticks a foot out there, and it falls nicely to Williams. And it's back to Koshi. And they're just coming down this left-hand channel, as it's number 4, Thatcher. He's on the ball as he passes forward into number 17. Now, Andover, they come down this left-hand stretch. The ball has been threaded into Herbert. And Herbert, he just slots wide at the right post. It looked like Max Evans was beaten there. I mean, the Andover managers, they're both happy with that. And I mean, that is the perfect chance for them to get on the scoreboard today.
Yeah, and I think he should have scored. I'm not being unkind to him, but that was a nailed-on chance there. Clean through. The keeper was in trouble. He was beaten. But sadly for Andover and for Claudio Herbert, he didn't quite get on target.
Well, that would have made their day, I'm sure of it. But either way, they're still looking for that goal, at least one goal. Maybe they may be able to find it within the last 10 minutes here. It's still Gosport 4, Andover New Street 0. As Joe Morrison, he's on the ball. He's striding forward. Ethan Jones, the youngster, he's making movement. And it will see a ball floated to him as he heads forward. And it looked like he was just going to see Corshare. He tried to head a ball backwards into Fredericks. And for a second now, I just thought Dan Wooden might have been able to pounce there, but I just saw it a little bit too late there, the attacker.
Yeah, Wooden was lurking, and that was nearly a backheader from the defender and laid it straight into his path, but it ran away from him. Of course, Wooden would still fancy a hat-trick, I have no doubt.
Well, hopefully you can get that hat-trick. I will be speaking to Dan Wooden after the game today, talking a little bit about some of his memories, obviously playing his 500th game, and just a bit about the whole season. But if you do want to find out some more of Dan's stories, remember, you can listen to the Gosport podcast, where I did film an hour-long episode with the strikers. So, yeah, definitely look out for that. Got a lot of exclusive stories there. Jeremy, I'm sure you could recall a lot of the stories from that. Obviously, you've known Dan for ages now. And
I
yeah.
have. And in addition to what you're going to do with Dan, I'm going to sit down with him this week and have a natter as well, because he and I go back 15 years.
Wow.
And I've been speaking to him a lot this week in the build up to today. And yeah, he and I are going to have a little natter, and who knows, I might just whack a microphone on as well,
Yeah.
just to add to what you're doing, and not in any way to demean what you're doing, but just maybe a few different stories that
Definitely. Yeah.
people don't know. But yeah, I think you've got to give him a bit of a platform, because could that be a penalty?
Nah, it was Finley Will-Smith who was brought down.
I just lost sight behind the pillar there. I wonder what on earth
That
had
is the
gone
one
on,
problem
but
here. Yeah.
That was right in my line of sight. I didn't see what had gone on. So
No, but like you said, a lot of these relationships in non-league, these sorts of players, they do like to stay with clubs. So I know Shirley, and they've got a few accounts where the
Oh
players they've
yes,
been there for years. And
yeah,
Dan Wooden, I
the
suppose
Mason
he's
brothers.
exactly.
Yeah.
Target was one of them.
Right.
Obviously, brothers were famous. Pretty sure he was at the game actually. His brother Matt Target, their
Yeah,
Newcastle
but
player.
then you think of the Mason boys, Byron
Exactly.
and I can't and Dan Mason.
Dan Mason,
yeah,
the number
and-
9.
and- yeah, and we had one of them here for a time. Yeah, they are shouting legends. Just
definitely.
as Wooden is here.
Well, a lot of these players, they've been playing football longer than I've been on this planet. So absolutely crazy. And listening to some of their stories, it's absolutely brilliant. And I'm sure they might have a few more stories to tell this season if they can progress in the FA Cup, as it is Gosport 4, Andover New Street 0. It was just Paul Bessie leading the line there, just trying to create another attack. And he is coming back down this left-hand channel as Ethan Jones, he makes a run in front of the defender. He does get on the ball, but a slide-in challenge from Haswell. He sees it goes out, and the ball is just gone into the stand, just in front of us, actually. Good little run there from Ethan Jones. I mean, he looks ambitious already, and he just looks like this little burst of energy already, Ethan Jones.
Yeah, he's all action, isn't he? Certainly, and I think he's certainly getting himself around, which is fantastic. And I'd really like to see him get a goal today, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it would just add a lot to his confidence as well with a lot of the players. We've got a few youngsters here. One of them I'm surprised we haven't seen in the starting 11 today is Harry Lee. I thought him, maybe Richard McIntyre might have had a good opportunity to start today, make their Borough proper debuts, but
because McIntyre's alone, if I'm not mistaken.
he is lone, yeah.
I don't think he's. I'm not sure what the cup competition rules.
Oh, could be
or
to do
whether
with
his
that.
parent
Yeah.
club doesn't want him cup tied. That's the problem with loan
To be
players.
fair, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I'm not. Who's his parent club?
Oxford's Richard
Oxford, so
McIntyre.
they're not going to want him cup
Nah.
tied.
And Harry Lee the same with Brighton.
Yeah, so there's every chance that their parent clubs just don't want them cup tied.
Well, that explains that. And Gosport, they're back on the attack. I mean, like you said, it's just a little bit unfortunate because I suppose, like you said, the FA Cup just gives all the players a chance to thrive, have a little bit of magic put in their legs. I mean, Gosport, they're back on the attack with Cameron Murray. But players like Ethan Jones, they're just exactly a good example of giving players a young shot in these cup competitions when there's nothing really at this point in the game to lose.
Well, we're coming into sort of a clutch of cup matches because not only will we have the next round of this competition in 2 weeks' time, but got Winchester City here in the Hampshire Senior Cup on the 11th of September. So Murray here.
He's striding forward, he plays in Dan Wooden.
Yeah.
Dan Wooden turns and he
Oh.
tries to slot in the bottom right corner, but a right foot from Fredericks just keeps it out there. And all the fans, we would have loved to see it Dan Wooden get his hat trick there, but literally just a brilliant save from Fredericks there.
Still 8 minutes for him to do it.
8 minutes. Wow.
8 minutes plus any stoppages. But yeah, I was just saying, Winchester City here on the 11th of September in the Hampshire Senior Cup, and we've been drawn away to Fleetlands in the Portsmouth Senior Cup, which is a fantastic draw because they're actually only 10 minutes
Literally
up
just
the
down
road,
the road.
and
Yeah.
I would love to go to that because I'd love to go because I've got old friends at Fleetlands who I've known. It'd be nice to go and catch up. And of course, we're going to play today's opponents again in the Russell Coats.
Oh, are we? Is that confirmed now? Oh, brilliant news.
Just don't
So,
know the date
yeah.
yet, but yes, that's the draw.
I'm pretty sure we did pretty well in it. I can't
But
remember
that's
the
away.
Russell Coats, but oh, is that away?
That's
That
away,
one?
yeah.
So that will be a little bit of a long trek. I would imagine that'll be a midweek game as well, the
there'll always
Russell
be
Coats.
midweek games, things like the Hampshire Senior, Russell Coats. Now, what's the referee doing
Yeah,
here?
he's just pulled it back for a foul there, 30 yards away from goal. He's talking to Paul Agbesi. It did look like it was a foul on former Gosport man Izzy Cabot, and he's not happy, is he, with Paul Agbesi?
No.
Just having a strong talking to.
Yeah, it's a word in the ear. Dan Austin, the referee, probably taking a sensible approach to that. We've only got 7 minutes left. We haven't had a single booking in this
No,
game.
I was going to say,
Not one.
it's been a clean game.
Not one. So,
Well, that's what I mean. He has
He
been
is
a
a
good
good
referee.
referee,
He's
yeah.
just let the game flow completely.
yeah, the referee is actually an experienced official, and I've known Dan Austin a while. He rarely has bad games.
Is he Southern League ref, I'm guessing? Or?
Yeah, and he has lined in the Football League as well.
Oh, okay.
So,
So
yeah.
that probably explains it. He's experienced and why he's been so good today. But he has given a free kick, which sees Sweeney. He swipes it forward. It did find Cameron Murray, but just too heavy touch sees it turn back into Andover possession. As it's Look, he floats the ball forward and it's gone all the way back into Max Evanson goal. He just grabs it and he's going to pass one forward, just rolling it into the feet of Bradley Tarbuck. Tarbuck, he's striding down this left-hand channel, outside of the boot once again, and he loves doing these sorts of passes. And it does find Dan Wooden. He was just in this left mid position. He was forced in, and Cushy, he just kicked it out of play there. It's going to see Ethan Jones, he passes back into Bradley Tarbuck from the throw-in. And Tarbuck, he's got all the space, all the time in the world just to carve out this attack. As he passes into Murray, back into Tarbuck, as he plays it back into Dutchy Hollins. And Hollins just unlucky there. He was pushed to the floor. Hollins isn't happy. And I think that's the first time where I've heard fans shouting at the referee.
Yeah, something and nothing for me. Yeah, we're down to the last 5 minutes now, plus whatever the ref sees fit to add on, which I don't think will be a great deal.
No, I can't.
This game has done nothing if not just flowed smoothly. A couple of injuries, but I think probably a couple of minutes max at the end of this.
Even if that, I can't imagine the referee would want to keep it too much longer with it 4-0 at the piece. But Bradley Tarbuck, he's currently just by Pat and Joe, and he's currently trying to skip past number 10 Williams. And does well as he passes it back into Joe Morrison. Morrison outside of the centre circle, still inside Gosport's half as he passes into Tarbuck, and it's gone all the way up into Paul Agbesi, who's meant to be playing in a right back role. He's gone more of a right winger now. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Paul Agbesi, he's looking for his goal as well.
Why not? Why not? I think, in the last 5 minutes, it's a little bit of a relaxed situation where players can just take pot shots with freedom. Because what difference is it going to make
exactly.
now? You one might go in. Let's look at Tarbuck down the other end. But yeah, I think New Street now know the game is done. They know they can't do anything, but they're still having a go. Look.
Whilst Williams just right at the penalty box, he runs into trouble after running into Charlie Vasma. And Charlie Vasma, he just stands his ground there and he sees it go out for a throw in just near the right corner flag, around 5 yards away, as it is thrown to Izzy Cabot. Izzy Cabot up against Ethan Jones. He does get past Ethan Jones as he does lay in a cross. Tries to find Herbert, the substitute, but he just can't get any connection with the ball. And it sees it return back into number 4, Carswell. He lays one out into number 10, Williams once again. Williams delivers a cross, but finds the feet of Paul Agbesi, who just kicks one out. And Tarbuck, he can't keep it over the ball either. And it's number 4, Carswell. He's getting on the end of all these balls, winning it back for the away side. And he desperately wants to try and find that away visitor's goal. As it's Williams in the right-hand pocket, he's trying to thread another cross, but it's well dealt with by Bradley Tarbuck, who just volleys one behind him. But once again, it keeps getting picked up by Carswell. And finally, Gosport have won it back, and it does look like they will keep it. It's downward, and he's brought to the floor. Was brought down by Carswell there, and it's going to be a quick free kick taken by Cameron Murray. And Dutchy Hollins, he's trying to play Alfie Stanley through, and Alfie Stanley does win it. Alfie Stanley just, so close. Good defending there from Hassel. He just flicked it up, and it did look like Alfie Stanley was going to be through on goal there again.
Yeah, good defending there. Very, very smart and switched on thinking. Talking about Carswell, I actually think he's Andover New Street's man of the match for me. Big presence for them, experienced player, and I think without him, the damage might have been a little bit more. But yeah, you would have placed odds on Stanley finishing that. But yeah, very, very quick thinking defending.
Well, Stanley, he has already had one chance in the second half to get a goal, just firing wide at the left post. But we can't really criticise him too much as he has already got a brace in this game along with Dan Wooden. So they're the two players that are currently gifting Gosport the 4-goal lead. Can Gosport get another? That is the question. But they have lost possession, and instead Williams, he's coming down and he does try and play Carswell through on goal. Well, not on through on goal, just through this stretch of the Gosport defence.
Yeah, we're down to the last 2 minutes now. And John has got the ball, so he knows what the added period will be. And we're going to find out very shortly, even though we've got 2 minutes of normal time left yet.
Well, like I said, I can't imagine there'd be too many minutes added on. Literally number of minutes, if that. Maybe 1 or 2.
Yes, well, we're going to see. We're now inside the last 90 seconds of normal time.
Well, Sweeney, he's on the ball as he lays one out into Tolk. Tolk, the substitute. He was the third player to come on for similar badge. But anyway, they're coming forward. And Carswell, he's just trying to turn, trying to escape the danger of Ethan Jones. And it's placed back into Cabot. Cabot just looking up, but instead passes it into Williams. Williams running down the right-hand stretch, but it's fed straight into Dutchy Hollins, who bodies it down before launching one out. And Dan Wooden, he might be able to get on the end of this clearance. He is brought down to the floor by Hassel. The referee hasn't blown up. Dan Wooden, he's not happy.
I'm not surprised that was Greco-Roman, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the referee overlooked that, definitely. But at the end of the day, he hasn't given it.
And instead, number 17, he's done well to get past and instead just fires wide. And it might just be kept in play. Can Ethan Jones keep it in play?
Yeah, I don't know if they are going to get another player on, but you've literally got 1 minute left plus stoppages.
John on the board.
And 5 minutes added on. Wow.
didn't see that
Ladies and
coming.
gentlemen, the referee has indicated there will be a minimum of 5 minutes of added time. 5 minutes.
Well, you've got to be shocked with that.
Substitution
5
for
minutes.
Andover New Street.
And it will
Miller.
give the away team, just a little time just to get that substitution made. And it will be number 16. So that's going to be Kai Miller. He's coming on for, we just can't see the digital scoreboard. And number 6, so Thatcher.
And ladies and gentlemen, Andover New Street substitution coming on number 16, Kai Miller, replacing number 6, Cameron Thatcher.
And once again, I suppose that substitution is just purely made just to give him a little bit of
Yeah, he's got 5 minutes. I mean, we're just about to tick over into the stoppage period now. Any second now. 3, 2, 1.
And now we are into the 5 minutes of added time.
5 minutes, but I can't see where that's come from, James.
No, I can't. Well,
Not that it matters.
that's what I mean. It's a little bit not pointless necessarily, but just I can't see too much changing.
Said 5.
Huh.
Said 5.
Well, I'm not sure what Craig, our secretary, was just saying there. The board said 5. I'm not sure what Craig was signalling there.
We can only call it as we see it.
Well, Bradley Tarbuck, he's forced into doing his defensive duties, and he nearly just runs into William inside his own box. And if Williams would have caught onto that, maybe he could have just fired a shot, pinged one towards goal. But well dealt with, just chasing past. Anyway, Vasma, like everyone's saying in the press box,
It's definitely 5 on the board.
it was definitely
I'm not
5.
imagining that
No,
one.
definitely 5.
Definitely 5 on the board.
I don't think anyone's sure how many minutes are left to play now after
Well,
hearing
it's an
that.
irrelevance anyway, James, to be honest.
Well,
But,
Andover, they've just won the ball. It's number 16, the substitute, who's just won the ball. He runs into danger, and can he get a shot across? He cannot, unfortunately. But he does well enough to pass it into Locke. Locke, he tries to place the ball against the face of goal, but it's well defended, and the ball has returned all the way back to Koshi on the halfway line. Koshi, he's just looking up. No.
So you're right. Then the ref blows it, isn't it?
And currently it's Locke on the ball. The skipper for the away side. And he passes it into number 15, Hassel, inside the centre circle. And he passes it into Izzy Cabot. Izzy Cabot just outside of the Gosport dugouts. Now he's returning right at the penalty box. He does lay across the ball. And it does find number 14, Herbert. And Max Evans does brilliant. Just diving to his right. He's furious with his defenders. But that is some stop from Max Evans in goal.
fantastic save from him. And yeah, he's every right to be angry with his defenders there. They switched off and went to sleep. You can't do that. You've still got 3 minutes to play. 2 minutes to play if 2 or 3 minutes to play if the 5 is correct. Can't do it. Can't do it. It's clean sheet.
Yeah.
That would be the best thing.
Well, the Andover manager, he wasn't happy there. He would have loved to see a goal. And maybe they can carve out a goal through this corner. It's going to be Sweeney taking this corner. Pretty sure it's their 5th corner of the game. So let's see what they can do here. I say drill in a ball. It's an in-swinger. It's going to find a head of Herbert and a glancing header. He's just pushed by Finley Walsh-Smith. And it looked like that small shove just pushed it wide. And that I think that was an important bit of defending there from Finley Walsh-Smith. Otherwise, Herbert there had a good chance to head it in. But either way, brilliant save from Max Evans from that save. And he might have just kept it 4-0 here.
Well, we're about to find out if the 3 minutes was correct because
we're about to trip it.
because we're about to go into the 3 minutes are up, if that's correct. If he lets it go, then we know the 5 was right to start with.
Yeah, come on, Dan, get your hat-trick.
But James is already
Just
taking
making
over
it full,
social
yeah.
media, yeah. But are you carrying on? Are you all right?
Oh, yeah, just getting this all ready to go for the full-time whistle now.
Oh, careful.
Yeah, we're already into minute 4 of the 5. So
Well, I remember that one Pompey incident where we were leading 3-0 or something towards the 80th minute, and then we just conceded loads. That messed up my full-time graphic. That's the worst commentator's curse I think I've done. But other than that, I don't really think I've jinxed Gosport too many times. And we have got a late free kick. I would imagine this will be one of the last attacks we will have to do in this game. It's Charlie Phasma. He floats the ball into Ethan Jones in this left-hand pocket. Wearing the number 16 jersey, he plays it into Paul Agbesi, the fellow substitute, and Dutchy Hollins. He tries to play Ethan Jones on the overlap. Sliding Cabot. I was going to say, I can't work out if it's gone to... Yeah, it has gone to a goal kick. It did look like it was a corner.
Yeah.
But there wasn't too many appeals from Ethan Jones, so maybe it was a goal kick. Either way, Fredericks, he's going to take this late goal kick.
Yeah, we're into the 5th minute, so that was correct.
And Fredericks, he hooks one
There we
forward,
go.
and it has finished full time here at the AEI Stadium, and it will be Gosport progressing to the next round of the FA Cup after a 4-0 victory in the FA Cup today. 2 goals courtesy, so we've seen 2 braces today, one coming from Dan Wooden and one coming from Alfie Stanley. It was Dan Wooden's 500th appearance today, so he will be remembering that one for a long time to come. But that is a brilliant 4-0 win today. I'll run you through some of the some of the Premier League scores. So in the I need to stop saying Southern. So in some of the Premier League, it has finished Brentford 3, Southampton 1. So Pompey fans will be happy with that. Everton, they're now trailing 3-2 to Bournemouth. So Bournemouth, they've done brilliant to pull that back. It's finished Ipswich 1, Fulham 1. Leicester, they pulled a goal back against Aston Villa, but they've also got another goal. So it is 2-1 to Aston Villa. Nottingham Forest, it's 1-0 apiece there against Wolves. And West Ham, they will be playing Man City in a later kickoff. But it has finished full time here at the AEI Stadium. Gosport 4, Andover New Street 0. And Jeremy, final words, up the borough. No, not my pen. No.